ClaretsTV speaking to Cheltenham City manager Robbie Simpson after the defeat to Eastbourne this afternoon. Robbie, that one just got away from us, didn't it?
I think it started away from us, to be honest with you. I think the first 35 minutes is what has cost us today, and I'm surprised. Well, I'm surprised and I'm really disappointed, because I thought on Tuesday, in the majority of times on Tuesday, we played with a bit of swagger, and we looked like a team that was not levels above, but we looked like we were a team that knew we were good. And I wanted us to build on that and roll into today on a 3G pitch and really play with some confidence and swagger. And it was the opposite, to be honest with you. We were really timid in everything we did in that first period. It was shape for shape, so man for man, really. And I can't think of many, if any, individual duels, man on man, that we came out on top of in that period. And that period is what's cost us the game. Their goal is kind of typified of that. We lost the duel and then allowed a runner to burst past us, and they were brighter in that moment, and it was a good finish from the lads. But we were probably lucky that it was only one, given their dominance, and they looked like a team in that first half hour that were desperate for revenge from the first game, and desperate and hungry to be promoted. And we looked like a team that were scared, in all honesty, scared of failing. And yeah, it was really surprising after Tuesday night and how well we played. Really surprising and gutting. We changed shape, and it took 5 minutes or so, but then it seemed to work, and we actually built ourselves into a bit of momentum towards the latter end of that first half. And we've had a couple of chances, a couple of moments where we've had a free header from a corner that we should do better with, but we started to build some rhythm or momentum towards that latter end of the first half. And then you try and build on that at half time, and then kick on in the second half, and then you get hit with a mistake. No leadership in that moment, and no one taking charge of the situation, and a striker for them that's bright and pounces on a bit of indecisiveness, and suddenly you're 2-0 down, and then it's a real it was a sucker punch for them on the pitch, having been quite positive at half time with the way we finished the first half. Wanting to roll it in, to get hit like that is tough. We're enforced, really. Like we had a bench full of people coming back from injury that we want to manage their minutes as best as possible. We've had to give them more minutes than the physio would want us to. We made some early changes there, and obviously Salim's change was enforced anyway because of his injury. He tried to run it off, but he couldn't. Cam's had to come off again. But the subs did have some impetus. They really did. I thought Jordan was a handful. Archie was lively. Ruffy, when we found the pockets, looked to be creative. I thought they did well. Blackie added a bit in our midfield, bit of tenaciousness, and we were winning duels. And they kept going. To be honest with you. We got a goal really good from Archie to win that penalty, and a great penalty from Jordan. And then we kept going and kept pushing. But I still felt like that they looked like a team. They looked like a team that are full time. That even though the impetus should have been with us, and it was to an extent, I still feel like they outran us a bit in that final 5 minutes when added time went on. I still feel like they outfought us a little bit. But look, we kept going to the death, as we always do. But the first half hour is the most disappointing, and the reason why we've lost this game.
I suppose we sort of, after a couple of good performances, we make a mistake after 5 minutes. They should score, really, and it sort of knocks our confidence. We can't get out of the press, and then we can't get over that early setback in both halves, I suppose.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we got away with one, didn't we? We got away with it in the first half, and then we made pretty much the exact same mistake in the in the second half and were punished. Ted did really well in the first half to keep us in it, to keep it at 0-0. It can hit you, but they need to just shrug it off. They need to shrug it off, and it's just so disappointing from Tuesday and the way we wanted to play today, that it looked like we were scared to do it and didn't have any confidence in doing it, because we should have had confidence from the result Saturday and then the performance Tuesday. Even though obviously we conceded late, we should have had a bit of swagger about us today, and it was the complete opposite. We were in our shells to a man, really. Too many people in their shells, too many people having off days, and when you're against a team like Eastbourne, who are hungry and at it, that's what I say, they were at it and we weren't, then you get punished. We probably, in that first period, were lucky it was only 1-0. So stayed in the game, so that's a positive, I guess. And then obviously the mistake has built some rhythm, but then the mistake is a real sucker punch for us, and we have to then change. And it wasn't a good day for us.
And you made 4 subs in 5 minutes in that second half, just after we conceded that second goal. Are you pleased with the sort of heart and desire those players that come on showed to get us back in the game? Archie, I thought, was excellent when he come on winning the penalty.
Yeah, absolutely, especially considering Archie and Ruffy, for example, haven't had a proper training session since their injuries, so to come on earlier than expected and to give it everything right to the very end, I'm really pleased. Really pleased with their work ethic, and like I say, I thought Jordan was a real handful, and he's coming back now, having had 4 weeks out. His first game back was obviously Tuesday, and I thought he was a handful there as well. And I thought Paul came on and did well in a tough circumstance with Cam getting injured, and we need to be careful with Blackie, because he's probably had more minutes than he should have done already, but we need him back, and he knows that, and he's doing all he can to reduce his need for the recovery time with his knee, because it flares up and then it takes time for that to then settle and go again. So yeah, hopefully he'll be okay for Monday, and we need him back as quickly as possible, but we also need to do right by him and be careful.
And a tricky one on Monday. Maidstone, I think, lost their last 2, and we beat them 5-1 away earlier on in the season. So you're expecting a similar one where Eastbourne, I suppose, wanted some revenge. They might be coming for the same thing on Monday.
Yeah, exactly that, and that'll be the message, really. They will be hungry for revenge on us. I'm sure they'll be hungry to put the recent defeats behind them. They're hungry for promotion, and if we turn up like we did in the first 35 minutes today, then it's going to be a long night for us. But if we play with a bit of confidence and swagger like we did on Tuesday, and in spells in the latter end of the first half and in spells in the second half today, then we'll give a really good account of ourselves.
Okay, thanks for your time, Simo. Unlucky on the result today, and hope for better on Monday.
Thanks, Ben.